Greetings, Commanders! Welcome to part 2 of the Melange bots video. Okay, the last video was a doozy. If you haven't seen part 1, you probably want to watch that. I am going to do a quick cliff notes of it in this video because you need to know part 1 to get into part 2. Today's video, we're going to be covering the value of, or the cost of a level 45 item. In the last video, we cost how we calculate all the melange and success rate and how we get to the value of 1.3 million gold for a level 40 item. But now we're going to be factoring and calculating a level 45 item. So let's jump into it. The first thing you need to know about level 45 items is that they do not have a failure rate. Once you get to level 40, you can no longer use melange. You have to recycle and use the new rare reagent. So this is a level 30 item. If it was level 40, not 30, on the right over here, you would see, instead of 4 beta IntelliBots, you would see 4 primary AI bots, and then you would see 1 nanobot. And you can look at this image here if you need reference. Oh, there we go. Okay, so in this image here, right on the left is the nanobot here. Down here is the primary AI. It looks kind of like the minor AI, just a little more purple. Oh, did I put the wrong image in there? I think I have the wrong image in there. Yeah, that is the wrong image. It's supposed to be the super purpley one. Well, anyway, that's the one there. Anyway, it's not much different. The eyes are blue. Yeah. Oh, well. Yeah, I got it backwards there. That's okay. Anywho, all right. So, yeah. So when you do the recycle, you get 4 of the primary AI and 1 of the nanobot. Well, the nanobot is the item that works just like the other bots. You basically can upgrade a piece of gear from whatever to level 40 up to level 45. So simple enough. It's a bot that lets you go to level 45, and it's the only way to get to level 45. And the only way in the game right now to get the nanobot is to recycle gear. So when you start realizing the value of these items, and I'm going to go over that math here soon, you're going to realize that they're not going to be this expensive forever. That kind of dawned on me. I'm like, games like this, they always release the premium items for very expensive, and then over time they roll them out and they throw events, and there's ways to get them. We just had an event for a level 30 item. You can recycle the crap out of it. So they're going to get more affordable over time, but they are available to premium players that want to roll the money out and help support the game and pay for our servers and have the best items. So, you know, it's a pay-to-win game. Sometimes you got to accept the madness and kind of embrace it, because you're still here, you're still watching, I'm still making videos, I'm still calculating math. It does get a little crazy sometimes. I wish I could show you a level 40 item, but I simply just don't have one. My highest level piece of gear, I think, is 36 right here. Yeah. And that was for a video I just did last week. But most of my gear is in the mid-teens and 20s. That's all it really needs to be. I fight players all the time with gear over level 40 in Galactic Battle. And the way I play with bullet and stuff, my 20 to 25 gear does just fine. If it was a toe-to-toe fight with the same commander, same gear, same troops, yeah, that would be a different story. But that's just not where I'm at play-wise. But anyway, for those of you that are interested in a level 45 item, enough with the chit-chat. Let's get right to the brass tacks. This is what I've calculated as the actual price for a level 45 item. And I'll get into the math here in a second, but it's 5,392,544. We'll call it 5.4 million. And that's not factoring in the item you start with, just a 1,000 gold item. But, you know, basically it's 5.4 million. And I'll explain how I get there and why that number looks strange when you compare it to what it could be, 3.5 million. But I'll explain where there's this odd predicament if you want to get to level 45, because you start running into an excess of these major or primary AI bots, and you don't know what to do with them, and you can't get full value out of them, because in order to get full value out of a bot, if it says up to level 40, you only want to upgrade an item from level 39 to 40, or whatever its highest potential is. And in the case with the level 40 bots, the primary AI, you'll see here on this spreadsheet, there is only an 8% success rate during event. So the cost to upgrade from 39 to 40 is 6.2 million melange. But to go from 38 to 39 is only 2.7 million. It's less than half. And unfortunately, the way it works out is if you want to get an item to level 45, you have to recycle a level 40 item 5 times. 5 recycles gets you 5 bots. So you get to level 40, and then you use 5 more bots to go from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, when you do that, every time you get 4 primary AI bots. Well, by the time you've done the first item, and you get the second item to level 40, I'm sorry, you get the second item to level 36, you're going to go, okay, I'm just going to spend the Melange, spend the gold to buy the Melange to upgrade the item to 39 so I can use a bot. Well, that's great, but you're gonna use one of those bots from 39 to 40, and you're gonna have 3 left over, and then you're gonna recycle that level 40 item, right? And you're gonna now have 1 or 2 nanobots. Well, you got a level 43 item if you want to just use those nanobots up, but you still got extra bots, right? Those extra bots you didn't use. Well, the next time you go around to get your 3rd nanobot, you're going to use your primary bot on a level 39 to 40 item, right? And you're going to burn up 1 of those bots, but you're still going to have 3 left. Now you've got 9 leftover bots. Well, those bots are very valuable, right? They may not be worth the full 200,000, but they're at least worth half of that. So, you know, you get to this point where you realize, okay, so when you're going from level 37, when you're going from level 36 to 40, every time you're leveling an item to 40 to recycle it, you're going to end up using the bots from the previous recycle. Because that's the only way to get value out of them, and you need the value out of them, and you're going to have a bunch of excess if you want to have a level 43, level 44 items. So unfortunately, it's not possible to get full value out of them all the time, unless you only want to get 1 or 2 items to level 41 or 42, and you want just a bunch of other level 40 items. Then there are other ways to get more value out of them. But for the sake of this video, what we're trying to do is get to level 45, right? So I've gone ahead and calculated the value we're going to get out of those primary bots and adjusted. Instead of getting full value and the level 45 item only costing 3.5 million, I had to readjust, and now it's about 5.4 million. And that's because of right here. The max value of the primary AI bot was basically, instead of getting full value times 4 for the 4 recycles, or times 4 for the 4 bots and the 5 recycles, we ended up getting just the average value of the bots times 5. So that's factoring if you upgraded a 36 to a 37, a 37 to a 38, a 38 to a 39, a 39 to a 40. I think I've said that enough. If you don't get it, sorry guys. I know this is a complicated math video. It's not for everyone. There's very few players in the game, not even myself, that are even interested in this kind of knowledge to use in a practical sense, because I'm not going to spend the money. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm a tampon thief. I can pull some strings, but I'm not going to pull enough strings to get a 10 million gold, adjustment to buy all this stuff. That's just not going to happen. I've thought about using hacked accounts. That's not allowed. So we're just going to have to go off spreadsheets and hypotheticals and just join the ride, come along for the journey. So I want to talk about this image real quick. I had to make this. So when we talk about going down the journey of upgrading a level 45 item, if you have a member in your guild that maybe you're the resident expert of your guild, maybe you're the Melt University professor, and they say, oh, I'm interested in getting a level 43 item, what should I do, major professor? And you're going to go, well, the first thing you want to know is that you never recycle a level 41 item. There's no need. If you're going to build a level 43 or level 44 item, what you want to do is leave the item, let's say you can only afford to go to level 41. That's fine. Choose the item you want to take to level 41, probably a Tyrant or a Titan or something, and you take it to 41, and a month goes by, and now you want to take it to 42. Obviously, you don't want to recycle your super premium item because it probably had a good roll. It's just way easier to take a Mongoose. You could just take a cheap Mongoose, whatever legendary you want, and take it up all the way to 40. Not 41, 40. Right? I don't even know why I showed you that. And then at 40, you recycle it. Now, if you have bots, you probably want to use as much bots as possible, get as much value as you can. But once you recycle that first level 40 item, you are going to have an excess of primary bots. So the next time around, you're going to want to, like I said, go from, use them for 36, 37, 38, and 39 instead of spending the gold for the Melange. If you have a bunch of extra Melange, it's up to you. Odds are you probably aren't. This is really expensive stuff here, guys. We're talking the most expensive game in the world. Probably the most expensive mass-played game in the world. I don't know that for sure, but it's up there. Anyway, so you only want to do it to level 40 items. And here's the reason. If you decide you're like, well, I can just, take this level 40 item I have now and take the nanobot I got from the recycled one earlier and take it to 41, recycle it, and I'll get 2 nanobots back, so I'm not losing anything. Well, that's not true, because the cost of a level 40 item is essentially the same as the cost of a level 44 item, because you only end up getting the nanobot you put in plus the extra nanobot. So what you end up losing is the placeholder. So in this case, the level 40 item recycle cost on the left here gets swapped out. You use a nanobot to take a 40 to a 41, and then when you go to recycle it, you get 2 of the nanobots back, but only 3 primary AIs. So you're actually losing a primary AI every time you level up. So you never want to recycle a 41 or higher item. You only want to level those up. If you accidentally, for some reason, level up a 41 item that you shouldn't have, yes, recycle it. You made a big mistake. It's going to cost you about 200,000 gold. It's a 200k gold mistake, because that's about what a primary AI bot is worth, and that's what this is here, about 200k. So it's always best to do the level 40 bot. Okay, now that that's out of the way. Whew, I know this is a mouthful, guys. This is a mouthful for me, too. I had to go through all this math over and over. If anyone wants to check my math or go against my math, feel free to put it in the comments below or message me directly. I'm all about figuring this out. This is not a 1 or 2 equation project. This has been just factoring in scenario, making up all the math on my own. Okay, so, yeah, if you have any questions or concerns, just let me know and I'll adjust it later. All right, so let's jump to the level 45 item and talk about how we did this final equation so that you can rest assured when a guildmate asks, how much does a level 45 item cost? You can say, well, according to the Melt's math and the math I watched him do, I think about 5.4 million is a safe assumption. And it is. 5.4 million is a safe assumption. That's that number right here. And the way we're going to calculate it is we're going to start with the very beginning. We're going to start with a level 40 item, right? So that's 1.3 million gold. Okay. Simple enough. Oh, we didn't do our top button here. Everyone stopping in the comments below. Just write something nice, interact with the channel, upvote it while we get our etiquette right here and get our button in place. Oh, much better, much better. Okay. Okay, now, we have to start with a level 40 item, which is 1.3 million gold. That's the cost just to get to the ability to recycle. And that's the best case scenario, not using bots. Because the very first time around, you're not going to have any bots. Probably. You shouldn't have any bots because you shouldn't have been recycling that gear until you get to 40. There's really no reason to recycle any of your gear until level 40 to get nanobots, unless you just had a piece of gear you no longer use, like I talked about in the last video. So, level 40, you're finally ready to get level 41. You want to go all the way to 45, and you want to figure out how much gold you have to buy. So you pull out your American Express black card, and you say, all right, I'm going to need, based off Melt's math, 5.4 million gold. So you pull your credit card, swipe it, go on the Google Play Store, probably contact support if you spend that kind of money. Just say like, yeah, I'll pay you guys whatever. I want these items. I know what it's going to cost roughly. How much will you charge me? I don't know. You might want to try that. I don't know if anyone's ever tried that, but I bet they'd take your money. Anywho, the first item is the 1.3 million. All right, so every item after that is still going to be 1.3 million because we're only going to 40 and we're recycling. The difference is that every time we recycle, we do get components back. So we get some of that 1.3 million back. And that total value is not the maximum value of a primary AI. Like I said at the beginning, we are going to have an overflow of primary AI bots because we're going to do this over and over. And if we don't use them, we're never going to use them. So we have to use them to go from 36 to 40. And the adjusted cost is 2.5 million for the primary AI bots for all 4 recycles, and all 4 bots and all 5 recycles. What was the? I don't have it written here, but it's something like that. So let me see if I can show that real quick. 5 times level 40 recycle items. So this is the total value of 1.3 million times 5, basically. And then this number, I actually minus off of this plus this. So the original starting cost plus the 5 level 40 recycled items minus the value you get back for the bots, right, gives you the total value up here. And that's this column here. And then this column here, I actually just adjusted this for that. I know that doesn't sound good. I should have probably moved these over. But, it is what it is. That's the adjusted price. So I think that pretty much covers the main issue of 45, getting to 45. Basically, you take an item level 40, you recycle it. You take another cheap item up to level 40 using bots and Melange, you recycle it, and you just keep adding the nanobots you get every time to the primary item you're trying to level up. So whether it be a Titan or Tyrant or whatever, you just keep adding the nanobot to that item. And by the time you spend 5.4 million gold, you got a level 45 item. Now, the cost of a nanobot is basically constant. So that's an interesting thing. A level 41 item is not much different in price. There's not an escalating value. There's an exponential growth. So it costs more gold to go from level 23 to 24 items, right? The success rate goes down, the Melange cost goes up. But when you go from 41 to 42, technically it doesn't really change. It's just a matter of having the amount. But once you get to 45, of course, there is an adjustment there. You are not getting all of your nanobots back. You are going to start getting one liquid steel. I don't know what the English term for it is. There's a new reagent. What do I have it here? Let's see. Well, anyway, I don't have it in this. Maybe I'll put it in the thumbnail. But the liquid steel is the level 50 or lower, and that's the next one we're going to calculate. Admittedly, I started to tackle it, but it starts to get a little bit weird because recycling level 45 items is going to be the same as recycling level 40 items, and I have to figure out exactly how I want to do that math and be able to prove it. So anyway, I don't think this video needs to be much longer. I think I pretty much covered it. Level 45 item, 5.4 million gold. That's actually not as bad as I was expecting it. I was expecting it to be a bit worse than that, but don't kid yourself. On today's gold market in the game, that's still like $5 grand. That's still a ridiculous amount of money. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed part 2 of the Melange Bots videos. Support the channel, upvote the videos, interact with the comments below. If I missed anything, or if you want to just add something in the comments, please do below. Join the line community. And then, yeah, hopefully part 3. If I forgot anything in this video and you want me to cover it, put it in the comments. I'm going to do part 3 in a couple days once I figure all this out. And maybe I'll cover it in part 3, give you a shout out. So, whew, thanks for watching. My name is Melt, and we